Honestly guys, this is one video where I don't know where to start from, what to say and what all to tell you. But if you are someone who has endometriosis and you're watching this video, my heart goes out to you, and please just know that you're not alone in this, and feel free to connect with me at any point of time. This medical condition has changed my life, and I can only foresee it changing it even more. Oh, I can't believe I'm crying in front of a camera. Unbelievable. Sorry guys. Sorry. Hi guys, welcome back. In case you're someone who doesn't know me, I'm Shivani Trehan, and welcome to my channel Social Cravings. Now normally on Social Cravings we talk about fun things like travel, food, skincare, beauty, makeup, etc. But today's video is going to be more of a serious video. Today I'm going to be talking about a medical condition that I am suffering through, which is called endometriosis. I am going to be sharing my personal journey with this entire condition, and how I got to know that I have endometriosis, and how it affects my lifestyle. This is going to be a deep video, and there will be use of words like periods, menstruation, blood. So if you're someone who gets really squeamish about these things, I would definitely recommend that you skip those parts. So firstly, let me tell you what endometriosis is, and I am just going to read the definition from the web for you. So endometriosis is the abnormal growth of cells similar to those that form inside the uterus but in a location outside of the uterus. So basically, when you have your period every month, the lining of the uterus sheds to make way to have a baby. So the same tissue that is basically shedding, with endometriosis, it starts growing outside of your uterus. So it can grow in your ovaries, it can grow into your bowels. In some rare cases, it can even grow into your lungs. So when this tissue grows, and when you have your periods every month, so when your hormones trigger you to have your periods, that same tissue starts to bleed and starts to shed, but then that blood has nowhere to go. So basically, in the larger perspective, you're bleeding internally, and that is why there is so much intense pain when you have your period. So basically, this is what endometriosis is. Guys, I'm not a doctor. I am just and I'm not doing this to gain any sort of pity or sympathy, not at all. I am just doing this to make you and everyone aware of what endometriosis is, irrespective of the fact whether you have this condition or not. Endometriosis is not just bad cramps. It is a disease that is shaping the lives of millions of women across the globe. It is believed, or it is said, that 1 out of every 10 women are diagnosed with endometriosis, making it as big an epidemic as diabetes. But everyone seems to know about diabetes, but no one seems to know about endometriosis. Hell, I did not know about endometriosis till some time back. So why are so many millions of women living with so much pain and without any answers and cure? It is also said that for almost 7 to 10 years of a woman having endometriosis, it can go completely undetected. Can you imagine? And let me tell you, even in medical terms, there are no set symptoms that define endometriosis or that will help you understand that you have endometriosis. It can go completely undetected, and the only way to know that you have endometriosis is through a laparoscopy, because sometimes in many women it goes even undetected in an ultrasound. However, every woman's case is different from the other. Their symptoms will be different, Their treatment will be different. How much pain they are going through is very different. There are stages in endometriosis. There are 4 stages. The first 2 being the more milder ones, and the other 2 being the most severe ones. But every case is different. So a woman having a stage 4 endometriosis can actually not be having any symptoms or any pain and yet be having endometriosis. And sometimes a woman with even stage 2 endometriosis can have a lot of pain and all the other symptoms possible. Amongst the medical fraternity, people, doctors, professionals still don't know the actual true reasons for why endometriosis exists. Therefore, I feel that, such a condition is so important to be spoken about. People should be educated about it. People should know more about it. And that is why I'm talking here about it. Especially in our country where there's so many taboos, with women having periods, menstruations. There's so many women who are still embarrassed about talking about these things and just any condition in relation to this. Women will suffer silently in pain rather than talk about it, or they feel that if they tell someone that they are having pain, they will be reflecting themselves as weak people. Or sometimes even when you do express yourself to other women in your house, your family, your friends, or your colleagues, they make you feel that your threshold for pain is very low. But please let me tell you, do not feel like that at all. There's nothing wrong with you. You are not crazy. It's not in your head. If you are suffering in pain, please talk about it. Please take it seriously and get it checked. Show it to someone. Show it to a doctor. Show it to a gynecologist. And just know that there's nothing wrong with you. You are a strong person. You're a very strong person and you're not weak from any angle. Now, before I get into the point where I tell you how I got to know I have endometriosis, let me give you just a very brief medical history of my pain and suffering. As a teenager, I remember that I never had a period without pain. But obviously I never had pain, so much pain that I have now. But I still remember I used to have combiflams and I used to pop in those pills, and I actually used to say to my friends that combiflam is my favorite medicine. I used to proudly say it. Can you imagine? I actually had a favorite medicine because it would relieve me of my period pain. Then jumping to post my graduation. So right after graduation, I started working. So when I was in my first company, I felt sick for 2 months. I had this low-grade fever, and when I say low-grade fever, it means ranging from 99 to 99.5. And I got so many tests done. I would be weak, low on energy, lethargic, tired easily. And I got all possible tests, blood tests done and CT scans, and nothing came out. All the tests were fine. Even the doctors were surprised that there's nothing wrong with you, and why are you having this low-grade fever for 2 months? Till date, we don't know how, but at some point after those 2 months, I got okay. I resumed work, and the next year, I fell sick again. And this was the next year or the year after. So almost a gap of 1.5, 2 years, I fell sick again. And this was right before I had to leave for my post-graduation now, which was in Manchester. I fell sick again. And then again, there was nothing diagnosed, nothing comes out in the test, and I just get okay again. And then I went to Manchester. And then while in Manchester, I remember every time I would have my period, again, I would be in so much pain. In fact, my roommate used to come and tell me that, why do you have so much pain? You know, I never had so much pain. And I'm like, no, but this is normal, right? I have so much pain. So yeah, I guess, you know, it's different for every woman, and we are just meant to go through it. Like, that's all. And completely ignore everything. Then coming to my second job, after again a year or two being in the company, I fell sick again. it had almost become a pattern that every 2 years I fall sick and I have this low grade fever. So I went to the doctor and my tests happened again. At some point, this time it got detected that I have a mild typhoid. So, it came that maybe I must have eaten prawns somewhere, which I did. So okay, this is typhoid. Like, this time it is diagnosed that it is typhoid. So anyways, I get better again and I resume work. Another year and a half later, I fall sick yet again. Everything same. So I go back to the same doctor and he's like, oh, sometimes the typhoid must have come back, like a bit of it. But we got the typhoid test done and it wasn't really showing typhoid. But he's like, no, it has to be signs of that because you just had it a year back. So, okay, and again, somehow I get fine. I get fine again. But that was also the year. That was also the point I had my first panic attack. Literally a panic attack. I was on the phone with someone. I'm not going to get into those details. I was on the phone with someone giving me a little hard time. And I was so unwell and I couldn't take it. I wasn't strong enough. And I am very strong. I'm a very, very strong person. And I couldn't take it. And I started crying and howling. And I just couldn't breathe. And something like that had never in my life happened to me. And I had my first panic attack. Now jumping to the part where I have started social cravings. Now at this point, I have left my corporate job and I have started social cravings, and this was towards the end of 2016 or beginning of 2017, and I'm saying that I'm not sure of the timeline, but it was winter. So yeah, so me and my mom so now I'm going to tell you how I got to know I have endometriosis. Like, this is the point. Now me and my mom are going to these two fests or exhibitions or food festivals, I think. So I was having my period at that time. Now just before stepping out of the house, I changed into a fresh sanitary pad. So we've left. It took us 20 minutes to reach to the first fest, and we were there for about 40 minutes. So overall, like half an hour to 40 minutes. So overall, it had just been 1 hour since I had come out of the house. Now we were just moving towards going to the second fest, and so I come out and suddenly I start feeling wet. And I'm like, why am I feeling wet? And I clearly remember what I was wearing. I was wearing all clothes from Zara. I was wearing a khaki green knitted top with the Zara black leggings. And thank God it was black. Trust me. You will just know why. So I started feeling wet. So I, just before sitting in the car, I told my mom, I was like, can you come behind me and, like check me out? And, if there are any stains or anything. And she's like, she checked me and she's like, I can't see anything. Again, I was wearing black and, like parent, I don't know, like she can't see too clearly also without, like, but she did put on her specs and she's like, no, I can't see anything. Okay, so I'm like, but I am feeling wet and I was pretty sure. So I'm like, okay, I don't want to, just in case I start bleeding, I was like, I don't want to dirty the car, so let's find something to cover the seat with. So luckily there was some newspaper in the car. I took the newspaper and I laid it on the seat and I sat on it. And I just turned a little bit, like just to check, like, if I'm staining out. And the entire newspaper was covered in blood. I was bleeding out like how. And this was all within 1 hour of changing into a brand new ST. At this point, I was completely shaken. I was like, this is not normal. This does not happen to normal people having a normal period. I was drenched in blood, so much so I felt that if I would wait to go home, I don't know what would happen. The entire car would be dirty. We had to park the car in the corner, and then we found that there was one cafe coffee day, one CCD. We went there, and it was a very, very small washroom, and I remember I was totally bleeding, and I had to change my sanitary pad there. And then we changed, and then I mean, forget about the next fest. We came back home and I had to shower and everything. And sorry guys, that was the turning point for me. That completely shocked me, and that made me realize that I need to get myself checked. And also I had started getting blood clots at this point, like really dark heavy bleeding and plus blood clots. And I was like, and obviously over the years my pain had drastically increased now, and I was like, this is not normal, I have to get myself checked. Sorry guys, this is the first time I have broken down in front of a camera. Unbelievable. That's how bad and that's how painful this entire experience is going. So then I went for my checkup. I went to a gynecologist and I got an ultrasound done. And when I showed my report to the ultrasound to the gynecologist, she is like, you have endometriosis. And I'm like, what? Like what? Like what language is this? Like, what are you saying? I don't know what is this. I've never heard of it. What are you talking about? I just have period pains. I get myself checked and now you tell me I have something called endometriosis. And then she says immediately that you will need surgery. And I'm like, what? These are two things. I mean, what are you saying to me? I couldn't believe for the life of me. I don't even remember my reaction, but I remember being in complete shock because I did not know what endometriosis is. And I'm like, I just have period pains. How can this lead into a surgery, for Christ's sake? Like, what are you saying, woman? Anyways, we took in everything that she had to say. She wrote some medicines down, and that is how this entire journey started. And this started, so basically in 2017 I was diagnosed with endometriosis. I went to almost 4 to 5 doctors, 6 doctors, sorry. 4 doctors out of which said that I need surgery in 2017. 2 of the lady doctors said that, okay, you're not married yet, you've not had a baby yet, so let's take a more conservative approach and let's try putting you on medication. So I was happy with that and I went on to some medication. With the medication, I started feeling slightly better, my periods reduced, my pain reduced, but apparently that medication cannot be given beyond a point. I mean, there's a timeline to having that medication and that's it. After that, you cannot not have that medication at all. So this was all through 2017 and some of 2018. Now let me begin to tell you what my lifestyle is with endometriosis all through these years. I mean, in 2017 and till date, what sort of lifestyle I live having endometriosis. So till now I have crazy pains. Like, I can't even tell you to the extent of pain I go through when I'm having my period. I am on complete bed rest for the first 4 to 5 days. So almost minimum 4 to 5 days I am every month. I am on bed rest completely. I am doing hot water bottles through the day. I'm on pills through the day for pain relief and for flow relief, which does not help. I have excessive bleeding. From the first 2 days of excessive bleeding, it has now gone to the first 4 days. Sometimes even day 5 will be excessive bleeding. And not only excessive bleeding, I have blood clots. So for those 4 to 5 days, I am now restricted at home. I can't step out at all. I have to decline all events. I have to decline all food tasting, everything, every social event. I have to say no. I can't even invite a friend over. A friend recently wanted to come and meet me at home, and I was like, no. I keep staining myself. I end up staining all my pajamas. I end up staining bed sheets. I end up, and now it was a solution that we came out with. So now I use Pixies pee pads. Pixies pee pads. This is the reality, guys. I use Pixies pee pads to put on my bed sheet so that I'm not stressed the entire night, entire day, that I'm gonna stain bed sheets also. From 2017 to 2000, like till date, I've had couple of panic attacks, and I go through so much pain. I don't know if panic attacks are the right word, but it's just so much pain I'm in that I can't stand. I can't stand straight. I start falling down, crumpling down like a building falling down. And I have zero strength. I'm so weak that someone needs to hold me. I have been rushed twice on an emergency to the hospital. And now I know how to deal with it, because I pop in a pill and it takes almost 1.5 hours for me to feel better. So now we don't rush into emergency. We just stay here at home, and I am crying, howling, holding someone's hand, my family member's hand, to get energy. And that is what my lifestyle is, guys. Can you imagine 5 days of your month just gone? And this is minimum. I end up spending a lot more time dealing with this pain and this stress. 2017 I went to Bali. 2018 I went to Croatia. Both the times I got down during my holiday. In Bali I got down, and I remember again being on bed rest while being on holiday, and I think that was one of the first nights, and my family was very supportive. I mean, they were all there with me. But can you imagine, like, and I was so low on energy in that trip. I remember not being able to cover so many points in Bali that normally bloggers would, like the Bali swing and things like that. I just did not have it in me, the strength in me. I was so low profile during that holiday because I just couldn't be myself, my energetic, strong self. Then 2018 in Croatia, I was having my period, and again I was in so much pain. I remember in Split, I could not eat, I could not have dinner this one night, and I remember around 10 o'clock I was like, I just want to go to the apartment, and I was crying, howling in my bed while on holiday. And again, all the time feeling scared that I'm going to stain myself. And I just wanted, and I missed my hot water bottle, I missed my, and then my sister came back and she made me hot tea and everything that made me feel better. But there is nothing anyone, even if someone wants to do something for you, there's nothing they can do to make you feel better. You will just have to go through that pain. Don't get me wrong, guys, I am very, very thankful still for the kind of life that I have, and I'm very thankful for my very supportive family and my friends and a lot of other people who have come out here to help me in different ways possible, and I'm sure there'll be many more. But yeah, I'm a very strong person. I'm an optimist. I'm a very positive person. but I'm also a realist, and this is the current reality of my life that I'm just sharing here and pouring my heart to you guys. That's all. Again, let me just tell you, the only way to diagnose endometriosis is through laparoscopy. However, mine did get detected in an ultrasound, and I will also give you the link of the place where I get my ultrasound done from. There was another place recommended by a doctor to me, and that doctor is amazing with her ultrasounds. It is so detailed, and everything is colored, and you know, like 3D or 4D, I don't know what technology she uses, but it's amazing. Ever since I've been going only to that doctor for my ultrasounds, so that I get a comparative for all the years of how big my cysts are, or how long are my fibroids. So yeah, I'll put the link down below for your reference. And that's it, guys. I think I will end the video here. Again, apologies for my little outburst, but I am so happy if you're still watching this video. Thank you so much for letting me and allowing me to pour my heart to you and completely vent out. Thank you so much for just listening and understanding. I am just trying to do my bit to create awareness about this, and I mean, it would be great if you can share this video with as many people as possible, both men and women, to just make them aware of this condition, because it is an epidemic, and you will hear only more and more about this medical problem from a lot of people now. I don't know what my next video is going to be, but it will definitely not be as serious and as deep as something like this. And yeah, and if you think you can, it feels weird to ask you to like and subscribe in this video for some reason, but if you can relate to me, and yeah, feel free to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you soon.